Hey guys, Jake.
Hey, Big Ben here.
Today we're going to talk Lower Decks. Finally
The
came out,
lower deck.
and
Yes.
yeah, we're going to talk about what we thought about it here in just a second. And make sure you stay
Yep.
tuned for the end of the video to see how you can win one of these guys over here.
Blam. Kablam.
All right, so do you want to start or do you want me to start?
So I'm loving the lower decks, man. Loving it so far. It's really my sense of humor, and if Seth MacFarlane has proved anything, is that Star Trek has room for humor in it. That being said, this has been online one of the most polarizing TV shows I've ever seen, where people absolutely love it or absolutely despise it, and it's kind of funny to watch actually, but there's really like a whole pro and anti lower decks groups happening, and I really love it. Like I said, it's fun. It's my sense of humor, and it's got a lot of cool references that I'm really liking too. Star Trek, old Star Trek references and stuff.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a good amount of Easter eggs in there. Like towards the end of the episode 1, they were, name dropping, Picard and all those guys from Next
Generation. Yeah.
So what would you give it in terms of a rating so far? And obviously you would suggest it to people because you like it.
Yes. Yeah. I'd say just 7.5, 8, somewhere around there.
Okay.
It's fun. It's a heartfelt. It's not the greatest show of all time, but it's what it is. It's what it's advertised as.
Right. So I'll tell you my honest opinion. Okay. Get ready.
Okay.
I actually liked it. I rather enjoyed the humor. And like the callbacks, like we've always Trekkies have always wanted a comedy-filled Star Trek show.
Yeah.
And I definitely think this fills that void. Although I would prefer a live action, kind of like the Orville, because I love the Orville. That's like my favorite new show.
Orville.
But here's the thing:
Rip.
they don't do name drops like Picard and all that stuff.
They can't. Yeah.
So yeah, but the thing I love about this is they had the Borg cubes and things like that in it. Direct references to Star Trek, and I think that's what was missing. What's been missing in the Star Trek universe. Even though Picard is a great show, even though Discovery has definitely gotten better than it was.
Yes.
And even though Enterprise isn't well liked, but I rather enjoyed it because I loved seeing Scott Bakula.
That was a long road.
I love seeing Scott Bakula in it, and I just pictured him saying, "Oh boy," And if you don't get that reference, it's from Quantum Leap.
Yeah, you're probably under 30.
Which is kind of funny because they do a lot of time travel in Enterprise. And spoiler
They
alert,
actually had the guy who played his holographic friend in one of the episodes of Enterprise. It was great.
No, it was great. It was great. I loved it. But what I really liked about it was that they did things like, they went back in time and you found out how the Earthlings got Velcro.
Ziggy says you have to kill Star Trek.
I don't think they killed Star Trek, though. That is not what... I don't think anything has killed Star Trek. That's the thing. Star Trek lives no matter what. I believe you posted a video, or not a video, a meme or whatever, and it showed, old school Star Trek with William Shatner, and then the haters over here hating on the Next Generation, and then once fucking Voyager and shit came out, they were hating on that, and then they were loving Star Trek Next Generation and the original, and then so on and so on until we're here at Lower Decks. But I rather enjoyed it. I liked the humor. My only big issue, with it is, one, it's animated. And, where I like my animated shows and stuff, I would, like I said, I would prefer this to be live action. There's obviously things you can't really do, like getting cut. His leg sliced open. I mean, you could probably do that with some CG, but it'd probably cost a lot of money.
That'd be easy. That'd be easy to do.
Well, I mean, the way it was done in the cartoon, in the show. This, 22-minute or 25-minute show would definitely cost a whole lot more not being animated.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
So my number 2 issue, and this is probably the biggest issue, is there's none of that Star Trek feel other than the uniforms and, the name dropping, the Easter eggs and things like that. So remember in my earlier video, we were talking about, I believe it was the reaction video. We were talking about how it was the lower decks that were just disorganized and having fun and all that stuff, and not the bridge crew, and that the bridge crew would have this higher expectation of everything, of how they run the system,
Right.
But in watching the first episode, that's not the case at all,
No.
They are very relaxed on how Star Trek's rules are supposed to be.
At the same time,
and that to me is an issue.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see that, but
you have
what score would you give it?
Huh?
What score would you give it?
I would give it the same as you, about 6.5 or a 7. But that's coming from somebody that's never. I saw one episode, and that was the pilot episode of Rick and Morty. And I have never watched another episode since. And I didn't really enjoy that, but I know that I have to watch more to see it, to see it in the light that everybody else sees it.
Man, you're missing
but
out.
I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the humor. Well, I would have to get my wife into watching it to be able to watch like every single episode of Rick and Morty, and my wife doesn't necessarily have the same sense of humor I do, But I really enjoyed it. I really did. Those are my only 2 big issues about it. I like the story. I like the characters. Spoiler, if you haven't watched it yet, stop now. But the fact that the girl is the daughter of the captain and
an admiral,
the general or admiral or whoever he was, is a really interesting point, a really interesting narrative to explore. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed it compared to to other
and it's
animation.
like I say, it's meant to be like that. It's meant to be satire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's meant to be not what you would expect from a drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And in that regard, yeah, it's definitely not like Star Trek. Well,
it just seems like a more
seriously that they should, and it's not like the old Star Trek animated show from the '60s or whatever.
Yeah, which was a great show too.
Yeah, they just don't take it as seriously, which is fine. I mean, look, and this is kind of an overarching problem I've been having with all the Star Treks lately, and that is the idea of a more advanced human, a more evolved human, has been thrown out the window completely. It's just us in space now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of depressing. Honestly,
it is, and I'm tired of them doing past shows. That's why Picard is such a relief in the Star Trek universe,
right?
Because you get like Discovery. This is supposed to be before Spock and fucking what's his name, William Shatner.
Right? Yeah, Kirk.
Yeah. And it's like every fucking kind of Star Trek show is like that. Enterprise was like that, you know? And you have all this stuff that's like futuristic, looks even more futuristic than everything did in the future. Like,
yeah.
What?
It's like the Star Wars prequels.
Well, no. The Star Wars prequels, there's a reason for everything looking nicer. Because there was a big war, and now there's poverty and all this other stuff that got destroyed, you know? So now the pod racing and all these other communities that would be are no more. Because you had the Jedi and you had the Empire, or you had the Senate and the Jedi, and you didn't have the Empire, and now you have the Empire, which has been taking control of everything, destroying planets and shit like that. So obviously you're not going to have much nicer things, especially when you have these asshole rebels trying to destroy everything.
I guess.
So that makes total sense.
The ones going forward from that stay true to the original aesthetic of the original trilogy. Just right, like
there was a lot more CG in it than there was like puppets and everything, which was definitely an issue. But in Star Trek, like, okay, so in Enterprise they went back in time in Star Trek, or they went forward in the future in Enterprise, and then it was like
time travel. Ugh.
You could see everything was like smooth and run down, and just you had buttons and that were like just your basic 3 colors, you know. It was like, what? How is this the future? And you're in the past with all this fancy shit, even though like your communicators and stuff were not technically more advanced, but they looked more advanced than anything else, you know? They should have dumbed it down a lot. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's the issue that I have with Star Trek. Because there was no big war.
They could have easily placed that Star Trek into the future.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have changed nothing.
The only thing it would change is the transporter, because they're like I said, the actual functionality of the stuff that they had, of their technology, was not as advanced, but it looked more advanced. So you can literally take it and just change some wording in the script and be like, okay, this is a future show. You know? Yeah. Which I would have accepted a whole lot more in the Star Trek world and universe.
Absolutely.
And then Discovery comes along, and they have shit that looks way more advanced than anything we've seen before.
Brand new freaking warp drive technology and spore drive or whatever.
Yeah, the spore drive. I mean, it explains why it's not there in the future, but that doesn't explain everything else. Even though they're trying to explain like the Klingons and all that stuff, the way they look. And they're getting more and more toward the way they look now. But
yeah,
which is great.
they
I
hurt
think
people and they fixed some stuff. That's what they did.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're fixing this shit. But you still have the design flaws of all the technology looking more advanced.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where you gotta either be like, okay, we're gonna fucking do this. This spaceship's gonna look like a fucking potato flying through space, or so it can be in the past, or this ship is gonna be way more advanced and it's gonna be in the future. There is no middle line there. Stop fucking doing shit in the past. Okay, which is why I love the Picard show. I haven't finished the whole season, but
what?
Yeah, no, dude, it's been busy. It's fucking hell trying to get a video out, man.
Oh yeah, that's true. But still, you gotta finish that because I have some major fucking complaints at the end of that fucking show.
Okay, well, don't tell me.
Major.
Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But we gotta talk about it, man, because there's some glaring problems with it, and yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say any more, but holy crap, dude!
All right, good. I don't want to hear anymore. But these are my issues with Star Trek. I wish somebody would contact me and be like, Jake. And the invitation's open. My email's in the thing. My P.O. box is in the description. You can contact me. I'm not hard to find. Okay? Contact me. I will give you ideas out the ass. All I want is credit for the idea. Put my name as creative idea guy. You know?
Me too. Care. Shit.
I can tell you some shit. I can come up with some shit. I can write you some shit if you want. I prefer not to write because stuff that I write, I like to keep to myself.
I'd wind up with more lower decks if I tried to write, probably.
Well, I mean, we would probably have to wait a good 6-7 years if you wrote it, so.
Oh, it's like that, huh? Okay.
Oh, sorry about that job, bud. You know I had to. He's writing a film for me, the screenplay, and it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I did this mess up, and I just haven't gone back to fix it. Honestly,
no worries, dude. It's gonna be a while, I think, especially with all this shit with the Corona thing going.
Yeah,
but we do got to start writing on that vampire short film that we're gonna do, though.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult.
But I mean, I like the direction that it's going. Comedy in Star Trek. The comedy that it started with was great humor, great dry humor with William Shatner, and I feel like we kind of got away from that throughout the years of the newer shows. You know, I feel maybe as the Star Trek universe moved on, the humor kind of moved away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like there's not a whole lot of humor in Discovery. You know, every once in a while there'll be a little piece.
Yeah.
But
a little joke or something, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the original Star Trek had a lot of humor in it, in every way, shape, and fashion that it was the Star Trek. You know, whether it was whether it was the red shirts or the way Kirk spoke, the way he reacted to things. You know,
he'd ham it up. He was definitely calculon there.
Yeah, the way you know he was a sex symbol and slept with all these aliens and stuff. You know, I mean, the humor was there, and I think we need to get back to that humor, but also get back into like what sets us apart as humans, and what makes us grow as humans. You know what I'm saying?
As a species, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly, and that's kind of been, like I said, it's kind of been lost.
it's been lost.
People
For sure.
are back to doing whatever they were doing for their same old reasons,
Yeah,
and there's no more camaraderie, no more of that freaking relationship that you really grow to love on Star Trek, where all the crew members treat themselves like members of the family.
yeah, exactly.
That's no longer. Now you don't trust your crew members, and all this other crap that it just makes it. I don't know. It doesn't make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It makes it worse.
Well, all right. So I think that's gonna do it for this Star Trek portion.
Yep.
Or Star Trek video. Guys, if you want to win one of these guys over here, just make sure you're a subscriber. And at 5,000 subs, we will be giving one of these away. So all you got to do is subscribe and make sure that you are a visible subscriber. So when I click on subscribers, I can see your name, and then you're automatically put into the system to win one of these bad boys at 5,000 subs.
Yep. And don't forget to hit that little like button down there.
Go for it.
Hit that little notification bell so you get notified whenever we post a new video. And stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
Peace. Hey guys, if you like those videos, make sure you click over here, or click here to subscribe. Peace.